Bismillah Rahman Rahim. This is Engineer Masood Akhtar Kiani, and as usual, today we have the technical session number 116. Our subject is geotextile material in civil engineering. So, before going ahead, I would like to request you to subscribe, press the bell icon, like it, share it in order to reach the next video with the easy access. Also, in addition, I would like to also remind you to our channel reference is Material Engineer Official, and also you can click anytime to see the 116 onboard videos for the technical information. So let us go to the subject. What is the geotextile? Geotextile is a reinforced material geotextile. There are three types of the geotextile material: woven, non-woven, and also knotted. So this is also like a cloth, and we will discuss about the physical properties and the usage and what are the benefits of this material in the civil construction. So, uh, what is a geotextile? Geotextile is a type of material in the civil engineering, a synthetic, permeable textile material used in improve the soil characteristic. It is also ability to separate the filter, reinforce, protect, and drain when used in the association with the soil. Geotextile are ideal material for many infrastructure work such as the roads, harbors, landfills, dams, structure, and other civil projects. So geotextile is designed on there are many grades of the geotextile. So I will put the example of one is the Terram geotextile. It is maintained and the published in the literature, and the technical study is already done for this one, and the design life is calculated 100 years in most of the typical weathering conditions. So types of geotextile, this is as is called a woven fabric geotextile, non-woven geotextile, and the knotted geotextile. So what are the function of the geotextile? This is the mostly separation of the two types of the different aggregates or the soils or whatever it is. Filtration also. Number three, the reinforcement. And number four is the sealing of the soil around the construction scenario. So use of the geotextile in the construction is the road work, railway work, agriculture work, drainage work, river canals, and also coastal embankment reinforcing and the upgrading positions. So the geotextile fabrics is commonly found are also the woven types and also manufactured by adopting the techniques where the similar of the weaving usually clothing textile. So these types has the characteristic appearance in two sets of the parallel threads of a yarns. The yarn also running along with the length is called the warp, WARP, and the one perpendicular is called the weft, WEFT, as shown with the different structural informations. So non-moving also geotextile manufactured from the either continuous filament yarn or the short staple fiber. The bonding of the fiber is done using thermal, chemical, and the mechanical techniques or the combination of the techniques. So this is I just gave the example of the geotextile. Is This is the wrapped one, and it is just laying on the ground. Before below the ground is there also, and above the material is also coming laying on it, and this is the separation layer between the two different materials. So the geotextile also uh, obtained from the mechanical interlocking and the chemical thermal bonding and have a thick of the zero point 0.5 to 1 mm, while chemically bonded and the non-woven or the compactably uh, usually is in the order of the 3 mm. And the knotted also geotextile are manufactured by the process of the interlocking and a series of loop of the yarn together, and all the knotted geosynthesis are formed by using the knotting techniques in the conjunction with some other methods of the geosynthesis material such as the weaving. The knotted geotextile, apart from these, the geotextile, the geosynthesis process are used the geonets, geogrids, and the geocells, and geomembrane also, and geocomposites, and etc. And having their own distinct feature, and the use of the special application. So all of these types have the different parameters, different physical properties based on the design is carried out, and also it is also relevant to the uh, ISO standard also, uh, BS, European standard also, ASTM standard also, all the standard are uh, using for this techniques and the manufacturing process and the long term and the short term and the production testing as well. So geotextile, the function of the geotextile is the operation in the application, identify the discrete function. This function are separation. Separation also, this is the major use for the construction of the rolled geotextile from not to mixing the both material soil and the soil aggregate and the other types of material which are laying aside, and it is not going to mix, and it is synthesized and are reinforced by this application. So some application are also between the subgrade and the stone on paved area, between the subgrade in railroads, between the landfill and the stone-based course, between the geomembrane and the sand drainage layers. Filtration also is in the geotextile of the soil uh, that allow the adequate liquid from the limits of the soil and the across the plane of the geotextile. Porosity and the permeability major property are the major properties of the geotextile which involve in the filtration action. A common application of the filtration function is used for a geotextile in a pavement edge drain and shown in some typical section also. Reinforcement geotextile also in the soil is a tensile is a very high tensile is a very major portion, major parts of the parameters, and also length of the soil, and the geotextile has the following mechanically techniques, which is the lateral resistance through the interfacial friction between the geotextile and the soil aggregate, forcing the potential bearing the surface failure plan, and develop the alternates of the high shear strength surface membrane types of the wheel loads, and where it is in the pavement and the roads area. So sealing layer is non-woven also, and it is improved between the existing asphalt layer. The geotextile absorb the asphalt content to become a waterproofing membrane, also minimize the vertical flow, and the water is the pavement in the structure. In the constructions, the geotextile scope is very vast, and it is very beneficial for the many uh, weak soil strata, and reinforcing the some pavements and the embankment and the soil enabling system. So roadworks also wisely used in the construction of the roadwork according to the approved cross section drawing also. And in the railway also it is the same thing. When the embankment and the reinforcing and the soil improvements are required, it is used also. Agriculture also it is used for the improvements of the muddy parts and the trails where the use of the cattle or the light traffic non-moving and the barriers and where the use the folded by overlapping including the pipes, mass, and the grids and drainage, whatever it is. In the drainage, also geotextile is a filter soil material and also as the according to the single size as a granular material, the water increasingly significantly and the technically commercially valuable alternation of the conventional system. Geotextile perform the filtration mechanism and the drainage of the earth in dams, roads, highways, rivers, behind the retaining wall, deep drainage, trenches, and the agriculture, etc. So geotextile in drain construction also is a very essential river canal and the coastal areas also it is used in order to avoid the erosion due to the current laying or the different landsliding or the water flowing areas. Geotextile in the canal also it is also a mm, very essential matter also. The physical property of the as a whole, the geotextile is a mass per unit area, thickness, specific gravity, flexibility, CBR, puncture test, basic property of the geotextile, the thickness tested under the certain pressure 2 into 1.5 megapascal. The thickness is effect on the plane and according to the grade of the geotextile, the size and the volume and whatsoever it is. So the mechanical properties also in the geotextile, including tensile strength, giant strength, tear strength, burst strength, uh, puncture strength as a CBR, and the compression resistance. The geotextile is basically property of the geotextile must have a tensile strength in a good position, whether the lead, when the reinforcing and the other strength and the properties that must be represent when the field is actually stressed and the compression resistance directly affects filtration with the drainage performance. The technical data also there are the grades of the geotextile T700, T1000, T1300, T1500, T1200, T2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, and T4500. These are the units in the roles when length, width, color, and the mass per unit area. Also, this is the table. And also the main benefits of the geotextile lining is uh, uh, like the Teram 85, it is also main factor to control the erosion and also protect the uh, sedimentation of the soil and also protection, also the access road framework and also the other general purposes of the project, soil enabling scenarios where the soil improvements is the required to take place. So this was the briefing about the geotextile material in civil engineering, and in next video we will see each other with another new subject. If you have any question, you can also mark it, and I will try to reply. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.